Talofa everybody, Lotu Fully here. I'm just going to do a quick video. Some of you may have seen that I've been in the media recently because of an incident that happened to me at the Sky City Convention Centre when I was attending the Local Government New Zealand annual conference that we hosted in Auckland this year. It just sort of reminded me of the broader issue, which is around racism and casual racism and discrimination that we as people of colour still suffer daily in New Zealand. And a lot of people have commented on my Facebook page after it came out in the media. Most people have been very supportive, and a lot of people have talked about times when it's happened to them, and a lot of people have said that this is the sort of thing that happens all the time. And I was watching some flashbacks from Oprah Winfrey's show on racism that she did, and I found this clip that I just thought was really relevant, especially after what happened to me. So I'm going to play that, and then I'll just have a little bit of a comment to make at the end of it. But I'd encourage you to watch it and listen very carefully to the guy, the white male, and the key point that he picks up from his experience. All right, I hope you enjoy.
Powerful moment on the show involved a white man who wanted to experience what it would be like to live as a different race. Watch this. 10 months ago, you would not have recognized this young college student because 10 months ago, Josh Solomon was black. What he did was really remarkable. Josh took some potentially life-threatening pills to change his skin color from white to black. And what he experienced as a black man was chilling. So chilling, in fact, that after just 1 week of being black, he abruptly called off the experiment and went home to let the medicine wear off. We asked him to retrace his steps to take a look for us.
For all intents and purposes, I think I looked like the typical black teenager, with reddish brown skin and a bald head. In Gainesville, I got a hotel room and started to explore the city. Often when I ran into people in the street, they reacted to me as if they were scared or suspicious. I went in this pool hall to get a drink. They followed me around like I was a thief. One afternoon, I was walking back to my hotel down this road. A police officer pulled me over at that intersection, started to hassle me about who I was and why I was there. Things like this never happened to me when I was white. One time I went into a fancy restaurant to eat, and although I saw several vacant tables, the maitre d' told me that there was nothing available. And in the short time I spent as a black, I can only conclude that perhaps we haven't come as far as we thought.
So how did that make you feel? Because I think that is the one thing that over the years I've done at least 100 shows on racism, and it's so hard to convey what that, having that happen to you, being treated like a suspect every day of your life, what that does to your personal psyche.
Right. Well, that's the hardest part. Whites receive this prima facie respect. I walk into a room, and regardless of how much money I have in my pocket, there's a certain level of respect that I get from folks. And the first thing that I realized when I was black was it's gone. You don't get any of that. White people get this respect, and black people are constantly trying to prove that they deserve it or are worthy of it.
When he said white people get this respect and black people are constantly trying to prove that they deserve it or are worthy of it, I thought that was so profound. It was really the first time we'd heard anything like that on our show, particularly coming from a young white man. We'll be right back.
So that was an Oprah Winfrey show from, I think it was 1997 or something like that. But that comment that he made, that young man made, where he said that white people prima facie get respect, and when he was a black person, that was gone, and he was constantly having to prove that he deserved that respect or that he was worthy of it. And that really boils down, I think, one of the key issues that was brought up with what happened to me, and what I experienced being an elected member of local government too, and even in other areas of my life where I'm constantly having to prove that I'm worthy and I deserve to be at the decision-making table, or that I deserve or I'm worthy to be in the same room as some of our other elected leaders because of the fact that I am a person of colour, whereas other elected members, because they are European, are entitled to be there and are automatically worthy and treated that way by the very fact that they are a person who's not, coloured, but is a Pākehā New Zealander. Whereas we of colour we are constantly trying to prove that we deserve to be there. We didn't get there by luck or by any other, racial stereotype, but we got there on our hard work, and we deserve to be there just like every other elected member. So that, I wanted to show that because, that really reminded me of what I'd gone through, and the real, the point of what happened was not really that was that one incident, but that there's that broader issue that casual racism has become acceptable in New Zealand to a certain point, and we have to speak up and we have to call it out all the time and every time that it happens, or else nothing will ever change. If we stay silent and we don't say anything, then nothing will ever change, and that is going to continue to be accepted. And the other thing that young man said was how he constantly felt like he was a suspect. He was treated with suspicion everywhere he went because he was a coloured man, because he was black. And that's the other point that I was trying to make with the Sky City security people is just because I was a person of colour, I shouldn't have been treated automatically as a potential protester or somebody who potentially did not belong at the conference, which is really what it boiled down to. And the local board resident from my area who was followed around by the security, he didn't deserve to be followed around simply because he was brown, or because he was Māori, identifiably Māori. We shouldn't, the fact that we are a person of colour, Pacific Māori, or any other ethnicity, shouldn't be an automatic, shouldn't make us automatically a person of seen as a risky person or a person of suspicion or a person who's potentially dangerous or violent. And I guess that was the point that I was really trying to make. I encourage people to watch this video. It's on YouTube, the one that Oprah did on race, where she was looking back at several different shows that she'd done on racism in America. And throughout it, she peppers different quotes by Martin Luther King that I think are still relevant today, and still relevant even in New Zealand, which is a slightly different situation. But all racism is based on ignorance, so it's still really relevant to us as well. Okay, kia ora, and thanks for watching.